Hey everybody, welcome back to Small Talk Japan. On this show, we talk about all things Japan in English. My name is Mitch, and I'm here with...
Natsuki.
Hi, Natsuki.
Hello, Natsuki.
No.
Mitch.
I'm Mitch. You're Natsuki.
Hello, Mitch.
We have been in the show for exactly 15 seconds, and you've already made a mistake. I love you, Natsuki.
Thank you. I love me too.
I love me too. Anyway, guys, we got a great show for you today. We got a ton of news today. We're going to talk about everything from Jonny's... how the CEO might be should step down. We're going to talk about the Kyoto animation Arson fire. We're going to talk about Chanchanko. And we're also going to talk about the new Netflix One Piece show. Roll that intro. So do you like One Piece?
I'm not sure. I mean, I have watched One Piece, but I never gotta keep watching it.
You watched it a little bit. You watched the anime.
Yeah, I watched the anime just a little bit. That's it.
I literally know nothing about One Piece.
Not even one, unlike one episode. No. You haven't finished one episode.
Not even one.
Okay.
I know they're pirates. I know that the main character's name is Ruffy.
Yeah, Ruffy.
And that's all.
Yeah, he wants to be a king of the pirates.
Pirates?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kaizoku-o. It
pirates.
Makes sense.
Yeah, the king of the pirates.
Yeah. And then he saves his friend. And I mean, I've watched some few episodes and I don't know the details, but somehow it makes me cry. He saved his friend from, when they had a problem. He's a good guy.
We'll talk about that later in the show. We'll talk about the Netflix version of it, what fans are saying about it. But for right now, I want to talk about something that you and I did this last Tuesday.
Yeah?
We went to a birthday party.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. For our friend who turned 60 years old.
Yes.
Now, why is 60 years old an important age in Japan?
Yeah, I didn't know anything about why we do such a ceremony in Japan.
This is Natsuki speak for. I said research Kanreki, and she just Googled it.
Now.
So now you're going to act all eraso, like that you know what you're talking about, and explain it to us. Go.
Yeah, when people turn 60 years old, we have a big birthday party, and then that person wear red chanchanko. Chanchanko means kind of like jacket with no sleeve. So
we have a picture of this, but basically it's this like red vest that the older people put on, and then they have a little hat. Now this is for when they turn 60. Why is it red?
Red means aka, right? So kind of like, I just Googled, so I'm not sure this is right. But anyways, Kanreki means like, it means like people get back to the baby. Can you explain why? So basically, at 60, it's like, so this comes from China, and the Chinese calendar is 12 years. So if you're born, like this year is the year of the rabbit. In 12 years from now, it'll be the year of the rabbit again. Right. So if you times that by 5, you get 60 years. So in the culture here, your Chinese calendar year has rotated 5 times. So this is like, they consider this like the end of your first life and then the beginning of your rebirth. That's right. And then that clothes is supposed to wear it for baby. Yeah, aka-chan means red chan, like little child. Because they cry and then their face turned red. And also when they're born, they're red. Right. Japanese babies are very red in color when they're born. Right. And so, is it only Japanese baby? Well, I mean, if you're a different color... Probably not. Okay. But anyways, the Japanese babies tend to be red when they're first born. Right. And so that's why they called aka-chan, which means red baby, I guess. Yeah, and also 60, when people turn 60, it's a yakudoshi. How do you say that in English? Like bad things, bad luck year. Bad luck year. And then red is, avoid you from... Protects you from bad luck. Yeah, protects you from bad something happened. So our friend, she's a very beautiful 60-year-old. She does not look like she's 60. Yeah, I didn't know she's such an old lady.
Throwing shade. Fucking Natsuki. We're 5 minutes into the show. She's throwing shade. It's like, I didn't know she was such a baba.
No. I didn't say that. But, I didn't know that Chanchanko is for babies because, our image for Chanchanko is only for like people who turn 60. Mm-hmm. So, and then recently people don't want to wear such things because it makes, feel that they're old. So other of my friends who turned 60 and then when they had a, Kanreki birthday party, she wear actually like red dress, not Chanchanko, or other man, he wore necktie. So, it's a traditional way. Yeah, so our friend, she turned 60, and I asked her, I was like, hey, are you going to wear the Chanchanko? She's like, no. Yeah, no way. She said no way for like the longest time. Mm-hmm. And then we finally we convinced her to wear it. Yeah, and then also it's like, you guys are like making fun of her because you wear it, right? Yeah, and then we also made her a cake. That's the Chanchanko cake. Yeah, that's cute. You didn't eat, right? No, because I was drunk as fuck by this point. Yeah, I only participated for the first party and then left for the second party, so I couldn't get a chance to see that, cute cake. Yeah, but it was basically like at the first party was like, because we had children and things like that. And it was like, I don't remember how many people. I think it was like 25 or 30 people or something like that. And then the second party, we went to a magic bar. We'd been there before. Yeah, I remember. I remember. Mm-hmm. And she had a great time. I'd say about 1 hour into the second party, I was just like, and I'm drunk. Because it was like the first time I drank after getting COVID, and I hadn't drank in like 2 weeks, maybe 10 days. And also, while you were in the house, you didn't drink? Not at all. Oh, okay. And so it was like my first, so I knew that I was going to get drunk really quickly. So I paced myself and I didn't drink that much. And even though I didn't drink that much, I got fucking drunk. And I was like, hey, everybody, I'm going to go home because I'm really drunk. And they're like, no, you're the organizer. You can't go home. So they wouldn't let me go home. It was really lame. And then how late you stayed? I don't remember. You went there. I mean, the third party and the fourth party? No, just the second party. And then I time traveled and woke up in my bed. I don't remember how I got home. But it's okay because Ricky was there. I was like, Ricky, here's my keys. Take care of me. He was like, okay. Because Ricky came from only the second party because he had work. So he was fine. Right. But anyway, in Japan, we have Chanchanko, 60-year-old people. They get rebirthed. Yeah. When I was in the United States and I used to live with Mexican host family, and then when they, the girls turned 15 or 16, they have a big birthday party called quinceañera. Do you have any idea of it? No idea what that is. Girls wear like a wedding dress and then celebrate their sweet 16, I guess. Mm-hmm. So I just want to mention that each country has, such a culture. Yeah, something. Mm-hmm. So moving on, let's talk about a Japanese YouTuber convicted of copyright violation after uploading Let's Play videos. So did you hear about this story? What's Let's Play video? Basically, this guy, so in Japan, there's no such thing as fair use. And so when the copyright laws here are very, very strict. Mm-mm. And so this particular individual, a 53-year-old man, he recorded full gameplay to story games. So it's not like playing a Street Fighter or something like that where the gameplay isn't so important. These games are just stories. And so it's like recording an entire movie and uploading it to YouTube. So this guy did that, and then he says a Japanese court has convicted a man of violating copyright law after he uploaded gameplay and anime videos without publisher permission. Reported by the Japanese paper Asahi Shimbun, the 53-year-old man was sentenced to 2 years in prison and assessed a 1 million yen, or about $6,700 fine. According to the courts, this man admitted to knowing that what he was doing was illegal. During the trial, he also apparently explained that his actions saying, as part of my hobby, I wanted someone to see what I made. So he knew what he was doing was wrong. And we say such things, netabare. Netabare means he revealed the whole story before everybody knows. So he did that, right?
Yes.
He uploaded the whole story, and then everybody got to know it before
Right.
he buy it. They
Before
buy
they bought it. Right,
Yeah,
right. So that was the problem. So like in general, Japanese companies are pretty strict about their intellectual property, their IP. So like if you're playing like Tears of the Kingdom, for example, like a Zelda game, like most of the gameplay is probably going to be okay. It's still technically, I think, illegal, but the Nintendo will mostly leave you alone unless you like. While the game is brand new, you post an entire walkthrough of the entire game with the entire story, and so people then go, "I'm not going to buy the game now because I've already watched it." Then that's going to get you in trouble. So don't do that.
Don't do that. I actually like it.
You like what?
Yeah, I like people revealing the story before I watched it.
Well, it's okay. Like it depends on how much you do, right? If you're reviewing a movie and you're like, okay, here's the basic story, and so like go watch this movie, don't go watch this movie. That's okay. But if you're going to upload the whole movie.
Right. That's not good.
Yeah, that's not good. So,
yeah.
Let's move on. In Japan, the young find dating so hard, their parents are doing it for them.
Okay.
Natsuki, can you just imagine? Okay, now you're married, you have 2 children, but imagine you're single. Okay, imagine you're single. Would you send your father to a date to find you a husband?
So embarrassing.
So, in a steamy summer afternoon in the Japanese city of Osaka, where a group of around 60 men and women have gathered for a session of omiai, or matchmaking, to find true love. They mingle away, hoping to find one end of the conference. They hope to find someone, for whatever. It's a speed dating event. But the thing about this event is that few of the participants are actually the people who want to get married. It's actually the parents.
I have a question.
No, wait for it.
Okay.
Wait, hold your question.
Okay.
One woman in her 60s speaks proudly of her 34-year-old son, a public elementary school teacher. A man in his 80s talks affectionately about his career-minded son, 49, who works as a controller at an electric company. And each one of them are looking for marriage partners for their kids.
So first of all, in Japanese custom, parents are not supposed to praise their children in public. And then that's what our parents did too. My mother was kind of different from the normal one. So she often praised me in front of everybody. And then my dad hated it. And then it makes her stupid. It makes her look like stupid.
Looks kind of foolish.
Yeah, foolish. So you shouldn't do it in public. That's what always he said.
So one thing that you guys might not be, if you're not too familiar with Japan, might be surprised about is that a lot of parents and actually friends and bosses and whatever, if I introduce, like if I have a junior staff and I want him to become really good friends with one of my business associates or friends or something like that, when I first introduce them, I don't compliment my staff.
That's right. Yeah, that's a Japanese custom.
I kind of talk shit a little bit about him. Like, oh, this is John. He's kind of a doofus, blah, 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 yoroshiku ne.
Yeah.
And so the reason why is when you do that, you set the bar at 0. And so from that point forward, John, my imaginary staff, is only going to get better. His image is only going to go up.
That's right.
But if you're like, oh, this is John, he's amazing, he's like my best guy, blah, 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 and then he's not really good at talking to people, his image is just going to go down.
Right. So that custom is sometimes good and sometimes not good. But speaking about those parents' party, so those parents praise their children into their partner parents, right?
Yeah.
That's some itchy, It's
weird.
Yes, it's weird to me. Yeah.
So like oftentimes, like if I go out with my mommy friends and like they got little kids, they'll be like, they'll be like, oh, my daughter is so, she can't do this and she can't do that and whatever. And then the other mom's like, oh, but my daughter can't even do it. They're complaining.
Right.
But it's kind of like G-mon.
Right.
But it's complaining, but it's kind of like boasting a little bit. But, All right, so here we go. So the reason why these parents are out there looking for mates for their kids is because, according to this article, a lot of them don't have time, and others, like 80% of them, want to get married, but they don't have time or they don't know how to find a mate.
So back to my question. Okay, in the United States, if your child wants to get married, but he or she cannot find a partner, what would parents do?
Nothing. I hope. It's so fucking weird. In Japan, traditionally speaking, they have this thing called omiai, which is like arranged marriage. And so those actually statistically are very successful.
Right.
People who get arranged marriages don't get divorced.
Right. Nowadays, maybe, some of them are, of course, getting divorced, but
a lower rate than normal marriage.
I guess.
It's weird.
And then, but I think that's a good system because I got married with my husband by myself. I find him, but
Wait, are you gonna talk shit about him now?
Let's do it. What are you talking about? I was talking shit about him. I mean, if I didn't have a chance and I couldn't have a partner, I want to do omiai.
I'm not going to do that. No. Oh, dude. So here's another fun thing. A lot of city halls across Japan have a book. It's literally a book. And you go down to City Hall and you have like a little interview and then you can put your name and I think a little photo in this book that they have at City Hall. This is people who are looking to get married.
Really?
Yeah. It's like the marriage looking like phone book. And then like you can
book.
Yeah, so you can go there and you can like look through and be like, oh, this one. And then you talk to the City Hall staff and you're like, I want her. And then they contact her and say that this person's looking to meet you. And then they set it up.
Wow, sounds like a shopping. Like catalog shopping.
What are you talking about? This is the most Japanese thing I've ever heard. One, unnecessary government involvements. Two, it's in a fucking written book.
Not even digital.
No. It's so fucking funny. Wow. I don't know. Okay, as the only single person in this room, I don't find marriage that appealing that I need to go sign up in a book in City Hall.
I mean, first of all, you don't want to get married. If you want to get married, you might go such a place, but different problem.
I actually had a foreign friend who tried to go do that, and then they told him to fuck off. They're like, get out of here. I have a related story. Here we go. So there's a story from Reddit. Me and my girlfriend were told by City Hall that we can't be married because both of us are gaijin. So this guy, this is from Japan Life on the subreddit. He says, I'm American, my girlfriend is Filipina, and today we went to the City Hall to get married with all the required documents. However, the woman at the counter told us that because we're both gaijin, foreigners, we can't get married. We told her that we talked to the legal expert who said that we could get married and multiple official websites said that we could get married. So she went and checked with someone. She came back and said the same thing. She said that they only marry gaijin if one person is Japanese.
So the City Hall person was
She's an idiot.
Yeah. That's the whole problem.
That's
right?
the whole problem. Yeah.
Okay.
She didn't know what the hell she was talking about.
Okay.
And the only reason why I bring up the story is because I just want to point out that most city what do you call komuin, government public workers in Japan. I'm shaking my head, guys. I'm just shaking my head.
My cousin is public worker and he's good.
I'm just going to shake my head at the camera. I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to shake my head. Speaking of public workers who are actually doing something kind of interesting. I don't actually know if these are public workers. But anyway, Japan prison with serious inmate abuse record tests addressing inmates politely. So, a central Japan prison grappling with assault and verbal abuse of inmates by prison staff began a trial run in August of using the honorific suffix san when addressing prisoners. So between 2021 and between November 2021 and September 2022, 22 young prison guards at Nagoya Prison, of course Nagoya, the best place in Japan, don't go there, are alleged to have assaulted and otherwise mistreated 3 male inmates in their 40s to 60s, a total of 419 times. Jesus, commitment. A third-party expert panel found that the prison staff's practice of referring to the inmates by terms such as convict or yatsura. What would you say yatsura? Like, it's like mono mitaina. Yatsura.
Aitsura, yatsura.
Yatsu means like fucking thing or object. Is like a way, I guess, how you could translate that. Yatsura is like that, I don't know.
Yeah, I am thinking that when last time I used yatsura in
I guess the closest thing would be like that fucker.
Maybe.
So anyway, a rough dismissive way of saying guys reflected a weak awareness of human rights. Well, if you're abusing people, then obviously you don't understand human rights. In response, the Ministry of Justice released measures to prevent abuse from reoccurring, including immediately banning derogatory names for inmates and considering a review of addressing them without san. So meaning like from now on they have to use san. So all the prisoners, there would be like Tanaka-san or something like that.
That's weird.
It's not weird. They're people.
Okay.
While no
Sorry.
serious problems have apparently arisen, several inmates who have gotten used to the previous form of address reportedly feel embarrassed somehow when called san.
I thought they are calling them numbers. Oops.
What is this? Nazi Germany? What's going on here? Prisoners are people too, Natsuki.
I know, but
Jesus Christ.
I know.
Oh, I don't know why I just thought of this, but do you know the Netflix TV show Alice in Wonderland? I think the English name is called.
Like Disney one? No.
No, it's Netflix.
Netflix.
Alice in Borderland?
That's what it's called.
What is it about? Like the people, women's in the prison?
No, it's like a video game in real life kind of thing. I don't know. Whatever. That's not the point. The point is that they made a fake like Shibuya crossing.
Okay.
In the middle of the Inaka, like near Tokyo. So they, the Shibuya Scramble. So they made like a fake version of that in the countryside, so they could film on like an empty Shibuya Scramble.
And then to see what people react like.
No, it's for a TV show, Natsuki.
Yeah.
For TV.
Okay.
So it's like the actors are on the street, and then like they made the real street, and then everything around the street is green screen. Mm-hmm. So then they use computers to edit in all the buildings and everything.
And then?
Can you go? She's not understanding. Can you fake Shibuya Scramble set?
Yeah, I just wonder what's the point of the TV show. They made the Shibuya Scramble in the.
I've never watched a TV show. I have no idea. I'm saying that they use this giant set. Mm-hmm. It's like I think it's in Saitama or somewhere near Tokyo. And anyway, the point why I'm even bringing this up, there it is. That's it right there. It has a name. I forgot the name of it. But the reason why I'm bringing this up is because One Okuroku recently released a music video, and they did like a collaboration with Monster Hunter.
Mm-hmm. The game.
Can you Google this and make sure I'm getting this right? Yeah, the game. And they filmed in this like fake Shibuya Scramble thing. Mm-hmm. And it's actually, except for all of the city scenes and like the drone footage and everything in this, because Japan doesn't usually do really good CG music videos and stuff, but this music video was really good except for the monster part. The monster looks so stupid, but everything else looked really good. There's the actual video, and like they filmed it with a drone, and then they used like the drone footage to edit out the green screen and put in the buildings and everything. It was really cool.
So it seems like they're, shooting in Shibuya, but it's actually not, like countryside or somewhere.
It's the middle of Inaka.
Yeah. Okay.
See, the monster looks dumb as fuck. Stupid collaboration. But everything else about this music video looks cool. And it's a step up for Japan because they're not usually really good at this stuff. I don't know. If you guys haven't seen it yet, what's the name of it? It's called Wonokuroku Monster Hunter Now.
Monster Hunter is a famous game.
Make It Out Alive.
Make It Out Alive.
Yeah. From talking about monsters to an actual real monster, defense in Kyoto animation arson trial says suspect not mentally fit. The defense team for the man accused of carrying out a 2019 attack that killed 36 people and injured another 36 more admitted to doing the arson attack. So basically, if you guys weren't aware of the story, back in 2019, this crazy person who admitted to doing it went into the Kyoto animation studio and then poured gasoline on the floor and just lit the building on fire. And so because the building was so kind of like the fire exit, I think they only have like one exit and everything. And since it was engulfed in flames, like so many people died from smoke inhalation and burns.
Do you remember why he did it?
So it says here, he said, I felt I had no other option to do what I did, said this guy.
Okay.
But he added that he did not anticipate that so many people would die. When the police detained him near the studio shortly after the attack, he admitted to setting the studio on fire, saying that that the company had stolen a novel from him.
Okay.
Anyway, so he tried to say that, I'm crazy, so I have mental illness. That's why I can't go on trial. And I think the judge said, well, fuck you. You're going on trial. And that's it.
Maybe death sentence, maybe?
Yeah, and you don't want to get the death sentence in Japan because they hang you.
Oh, right.
They legit hang you. Not even kidding. Which, by the way, in Star Trek Picard is supposed to be a fucking, like, crazy, educated captain. And he said, my mother hung herself. No, your mother hanged herself. It's the wrong fucking verb. Stupid show. 67-year-old woman arrested for slapping another male customer for rudely cutting in line at a 100 yen store.
What would you do if somebody, old lady slapped you?
I was thinking about that.
Yeah.
I thought about it after reading the story. I think I would just be like, oh.
And then the old lady can't even reach your face, maybe. Can she?
I don't know. Maybe. But I just like, what would you do? Like,
yeah, what would you do?
You're sitting there at a 100 yen store, and all of a sudden, okay, it says, on the afternoon of March 3rd, a 67-year-old woman was arrested for slapping, why is this in the news now? Anyway, for slapping a man in his 20s at a 100 yen store. When the man explained that his cutting in line was not on purpose, but only accidentally, when questioned, the 67-year-old woman denied the charges, saying, I did not assault him. I wanted to raise my hand to get him out of line, but it just accidentally hit his face.
Well, somebody called the police, right?
His brother did, yeah.
Oh, his brother did, right? If I were with you and then you got slapped, I don't know if I can call the police.
No, you would laugh. You would just sit there and fucking...
I'm not gonna laugh.
Oh, no. You would just sit there and be like, Wah!
No. I will be just shocked and then, watching.
Even if after I got slapped, I went, ah!
Then I might laugh.
Dude, like, if something like that happens, like, okay, old women in Japan are just fucking, they're too strong. Like, whenever I go to, like, the local department store, because they're small, right? Mm-hmm. So they don't even look at my face.
Right.
Because they're, like, pelvis height to me. They're, like, right here. They'll just push me. They're like, get the fuck out of my way, dude. And I'm just like, okay, dozo.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not going to say shit. I'm like, dude, okay, go. From old ladies to old men, Johnny's talent agency admits sexual abuse by founder. So the niece of Johnny Kitagawa said on Thursday that she has stepped down as president of Johnny's and Associates, which she should have fucking done in the beginning of this. Japan's top male talent agency founded by her late uncle after acknowledging he sexually abused aspiring teenage pop singers for decades. In the first press conference held by the agency since the allegations were widely reported by the media earlier this year, no, they were reported by the fucking BBC, and then the rest of the Japanese media that used Johnny's talent in their TV shows had to fucking embarrassingly afterwards report because the BBC did it first.
That's right.
Good job, BBC. Widely reported the media earlier this year. So Keiko Fujishima apologized to the victims and said she would remain as a representative director to fulfill my responsibilities of providing redress to the victims, but otherwise she would step down. And she fucking should step down because at the beginning she was like, oh, really? My uncle, he abused these boys? I didn't know that. And everybody's like, oh, bullshit. Everyone knew it. It was an open secret. Everybody fucking knew it. Like, I knew that shit for years.
Right.
So, fuck you.
The press conference was about 4 hours.
Yeah. Did you see the interviews with all the...
I watched 2 hours.
So all the interviews.
I stopped working and I watched. I turned on the TV.
With the boys that he abused that are famous people now, like news anchors and stuff like that, and they're giving interviews. It's depressing. Yeah. It makes you feel just it makes you feel weird. Did you watch the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial that I sent you on Netflix?
Not yet.
You gotta watch that. It's just so fucking funny. So funny. God damn, that's great entertainment. Sorry, there's no segue to this. I don't know if he's guilty, but if he is, this guy's an asshole. Australian English teacher, conversation teacher, so Eikaiwa teacher, 31 years old, arrested on suspicion of breaking into a house and injuring a 70-year-old man who asked if he had money before running away in Tokyo.
What's wrong with him?
I don't know. That's the whole story. We don't have much details on it, but apparently he said, I don't have any money and I didn't do anything, he said to the police. But yeah,
if a foreigner like him, did a crime like this, what will happen to him? I mean, he will go back to his country, or he will stay in Japan.
He's going to go to jail because I think I might be wrong, but I think the guy he stabbed died. Or
no.
Allegedly stabbed. I should say allegedly stabbed. Nobody's been proven guilty on anything yet. But yeah, dude, if he's guilty, he's going to go to jail here, right?
Oh, okay.
I mean, basically what happens if your crime is like not super serious and they just kick you out. But if it's like super serious, something like that, I think you go to jail.
Here.
Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, let's talk about something a little bit more friendly.
Yeah.
Japanese educators want to allow students to use robot substitutes to attend school. So this is actually a really cool concept. So basically, you got a generation of hikikomori, which are kids that don't want to leave their house. But at the same time, if they don't get an education, when those kids grow up and they get maybe rehabilitated, if they don't have an education, then they can't be a functioning member of society. So there's a school in Japan that is thinking like, well, what if we just, and it says robot, it's not really a robot. It's really like an iPad that's on like a stick that's that has like a little, they can move around.
I thought Ashimo is there.
No, it's not Asimo, the Honda robot. But anyway, so basically the concept here is that it says, a city council meeting held on September 4th. Where is this? In Kumamoto, which is near here. The board presented its proposal to place robots in classrooms that can be controlled remotely by students who haven't been attending class. The robots are equipped with cameras, microphones, and speakers so that the students controlling them from home can see and hear what's going on in the classroom and also express themselves verbally during lesson-related discussions and or when communicating with classmates. What's more is that the robots, which are roughly 1 meter in height, are mobile and can be piloted around the campus to participate in school activities held outside the classroom as well.
Right? That sounds like Ashimo. No?
Yeah, but I think it's just an iPad on a motor. But anyway, it's I think it's really cool. And they're thinking about maybe putting them to service as early as November. And I think it's really neat because when I was in high school, the American school year has 180 school days in 1 year. I was absent, I think 125 of 180 school days my senior year.
What did you do?
Because I was sick. I had a physical problem.
Really?
And so
First time to hear.
I was absent for most of my senior year of high school. And so I learned how to study by myself. So I didn't get the lecture from the teachers, but I just read the textbooks and taught myself. So I think in my senior year, I got a 3.9 GPA.
Which means high?
Almost 100%.
Oh my God. That's good.
Yeah. And so, but I missed out a lot of what happened in my senior year. And so like, it would have been really cool if something like that existed when I was in high school.
Right.
Like
because you can see what's happening
and see your friends and stuff like that. So yeah, that would have been really cool. So nice, Kumamoto. Very cool. Very cool. Last just story today is Netflix's live action One Piece adaptation that apparently people seem to like it. Have you seen it?
No, but I see the people's comment on the internet and then they said it's great.
It's got an 85% on Rotten Tomatoes as of right now. The diehard fans seemingly love it, which is weird. The Japanese fans are okay with it, which everybody thought was going to be not the case.
Yeah.
And it seems like, I mean, it's still just the first season, so it could go Game of Thrones, could go seriously wrong at the end. But for now, it seems like people are liking it.
We can watch it on the Netflix.
Yes. Right. Yes. You can also watch the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial on Netflix.
Yeah, my problem is I'm not a member of Netflix now, so I have to sign in.
That would be a problem. Yeah, that would be a problem. Just get Netflix, dude. It's like 10 yen a month. It's like
I know.
1,000 yen.
I quit it.
Josh, have you seen this One Piece adaptation yet? No. Have you seen the trailer? You should watch the trailer.
Did you?
Yeah, I haven't watched any of the episodes because I don't know the fucking story. So like for me, it's not like yeah. But all of my otaku friends, they're like, it's actually pretty good. And the main reason why everybody says it's pretty good is because they say that the source material is good. So like the books are just really, really good. So anything that you really make from the books is going to be good. So that's good news. I'm happy to hear it.
Okay.
And
done?
And we're done. Are you just waiting to go home? Is that what you're doing here? Just like, can I go home now?
I'm hungry. Yeah.
I'm hungry. Okay. Well.
It's 1 p.m. right now and I haven't eaten lunch yet. I'm kind of hungry.
Okay.
May I go?
Everybody's like, put more Natsuki on the show. And she's like, can I fucking leave now? I want to go home and eat some food. Anyway, thanks to all our patrons who always support the show. If you want links to all the articles that we have for today, it's going to be in the video description. If you haven't subscribed to us, please do so and hit the bell icon to always get a notification when we drop a new show. Sorry for the bad audio quality for last week. That was terrible. I had COVID. I'm sorry. But we'll see you guys next week. Thanks, everybody. Goodbye.
Bye.